The city of Phoenix is the capital of Arizona. It's our largest city, and it's known as the Valley of the Sun. The city of Phoenix population is approaching 1.6 million people, and the metro area is almost to 4.5 million people, and it covers almost 15,000 square miles. Phoenix has three main sections. There's downtown, there's central, and there's the northern part of the city. Phoenix is home to Sky Harbor Airport, which is the 11th busiest airport in the world and the 5th busiest airport here in the United States. The city of Phoenix is our best option for mass transit and public transportation. The light rail is a great way to get to downtown for different events, and you also have access to Sky Harbor Airport. Downtown Phoenix really has become the center of it all. When I moved here in 1998, we'd go to a Diamondbacks game and you'd leave the stadium, and at 10 o'clock at night, it was a ghost town. There was nothing going on down there. It was office buildings, the courthouse, and not much else. Downtown has had a huge transformation, and there's a ton of culture and nightlife, lots of different opportunities to go out to eat or see a show. There's a lot of really cool art galleries. There's a section along Roosevelt Boulevard called Roosevelt Row. The first Friday of every month becomes a carnival almost. All the galleries are open. There's a lot of cool spots to stop and have some food or get a few drinks. And the people watching is out of sight. You get people from all corners of the valley who are into all different things. And so it's really cool to spend some time down there on First Fridays. You get people and different styles and whatnot run the gamut, so you get to see a little bit of all the different cultures here in Phoenix. Downtown has seen a big renaissance as far as development. There are a lot of high-rise condo and apartment towers there that weren't there 20 years ago. A lot of the major universities here in the state have made large investments in downtown Phoenix. ASU has a huge campus as well as some medical research facilities, as does the University of Arizona. If you're wanting to live in downtown Phoenix, there are lots of different options. Mobile home parks start at about 50 grand, and there are all kinds of condo options, and you can get a single family home for as little as $175,000. It may not be in a neighborhood that you're super comfortable with, but there are all kinds of options available there. There are several cool neighborhoods in downtown Phoenix. Just north of the I-10, there are several historic neighborhoods that date back to the 50s and 60s. The Willow neighborhood is one that comes to mind. It's the most famous. It's got a lot of really cool older homes that neighborhood's seen. It's been one of the more desirable neighborhoods, so there's been a lot of redevelopment there of homes that have been updated and still kept their kind of mid-century charm. That's a really cool neighborhood. About once or twice a year, they'll do some events there where you can go down and see in some of the houses. It's a pretty cool experience. If you're into big-time events or sporting events, downtown Phoenix has a lot going on. It's home to the Phoenix Suns, Phoenix Mercury, and the Arizona Diamondbacks. Their stadiums and arena are actually right across the street from each other. And just this past Friday night, there was a Suns playoff game and a Diamondbacks game going on at the same time. So very happening scene as far as sports are concerned. So if you're into those things, downtown Phoenix, with all of its dining and entertainment options, in addition to the sports events, it's a great place to go and hang out. With downtown being the center of a lot of what's going on in Phoenix, it's the hub of all the major highways and freeways here in the valley. The I-10, the Interstate 17, the 51 highway, and the 202 all culminate there in downtown Phoenix. So no matter what part of the valley that you may live in, it's very easy to get to downtown for all the different events, or you have great access to Sky Harbor Airport as well. So that is one of the benefits of Phoenix, is a lot of really good modern roads that were well planned, so it's easy to get in and out of the downtown and central part of the city. If you're considering a move here to Phoenix, be sure and check out my free relocation guide. It's full of information on all the different cities and communities here in the Phoenix metro area. It's also a great way to learn about our cities and which may be the best fit for you. Central Phoenix become one of the more eclectic and desirable parts of town. The neighborhoods are from the 50s to the 70s, so the houses have a lot of character, a lot of different style neighborhoods as well. Lots of condo options under a couple $100,000, and homes start at about $350 and go on up into the millions. But there's lots of older homes have a little bit bigger lots, and so they've got a little more charm. You get a little bit more room as far as yards are concerned. Obviously, there's a variety of different neighborhoods, so some are jammed in, some have a little bit bigger lots. One of the cool things about some of the neighborhoods in Central Phoenix that used to be agricultural areas way back in the 40s and 50s, they were irrigated for obviously growing crops, but now those irrigation systems are still in place. So a lot of the homes have the opportunity to open the irrigation system several times a year and flood their yard. So you do see a lot of mature landscaping that includes big deciduous trees and grassy yards, which seems out of place for Phoenix, but because of that access to the irrigated water, it makes growing that type of vegetation a lot easier and not as costly. Another very popular neighborhood in Phoenix is what's called Arcadia. It surrounds the area just south of Camelback Mountain. It's a very popular area, and it's getting very pricey as well. Homes are going to start at in the 600s and go on up to 3 or 4 million, if not more. Many of the local restaurateurs have their locations there in Arcadia and parts of Central Phoenix, so the dining is excellent there. A lot of really good local options. Obviously, there's access to all the franchise options as well. Arcadia and Central Phoenix and downtown have become sort of the a culinary hub of Phoenix. Phoenix has become well known for its pizza. Chris Bianco started Bianco Pizzeria and has become world renowned for his style of pizza. There was actually just an episode on him on Netflix for, I believe it's called Chef's Table. That's a really cool episode. You want to check that out. It gives you, he's a very interesting character. Has done a lot for the restaurant scene as well as the pizza scene here in Phoenix, and the food's just amazing. In Central Phoenix, there are a lot of different recreation options. There's also the Piestewa Peak Park that is right in the center of Phoenix, and it's kind of cool because you can drive in to the area. The parking lots are kind of in the middle of all these mountains that are right in the center of town. You wouldn't even know it. That's a great place to go. It's one of the more famous hikes. There's lots of other different trails in that same park. So if you live in Central Phoenix, you've got access to some amazing hiking just within 10-15 minutes away. It's a very popular area. It's very busy in the evening. Even during the summer, a lot of people are up there hiking and taking advantage of the opportunity and those trails that are right in the center of town. North Phoenix and along the I-17 corridor is the beginnings of what I would call urban sprawl and the suburbs that started back in the 70s. A lot of cinder block homes with shingle roofs, kind of the earliest renditions of what you would consider urban sprawl and the stuccoed and tiled roofs. The tile roofs kind of became popular in the mid to late 80s, so a lot of the neighborhoods in North Phoenix are from the 70s and 80s. Obviously, the further north you go, a lot of the communities are newer, and you get into the big strip malls and big box retail stores. Along the I-17, there is what's called the METROCENTER Mall. It was very popular. It's where the Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure was filmed.
Excellent!
So it's got a little bit of notoriety to it. It's actually closed now, and it's scheduled to be demolished here in the next year or so. It's going to be a huge new development that's got a office and commercial component to it, as well as a lot of apartment and condo residential buildings that are going in as well. It's a huge area right in the center of town. It's a great location. It's not very dense now, and it's just kind of the METROCENTER Mall was well past its prime. So that's going to be a great opportunity in North Phoenix. A lot's going to happen. It's going to have a big ripple effect in that part of town. The light rail, it has been extended to up to that area. It's going to open in the next year as well, so that's going to provide great access into central and downtown Phoenix. As far as neighborhoods are concerned, you're probably going to spend $300,000 to $600,000. Obviously, there are pockets of homes in the millions, of course. One nice thing about North Phoenix is you do have good access as well. The 51 highway extends into this area, as does the I-17 corridor. If you're into getting out of the city and going north for the weekend, getting out of the heat in the summer, or going experiencing the winter, Up in Flagstaff, you've got great access from the 101 and the I-17 to get out of town and head north. The Phoenix metro area has a wide variety of communities, and each has very different aspects and unique features to them. So if you're thinking about making a move here to Phoenix and you're unsure of what might be the right community for you, reach out. I'd love to hear what's going on for you and see how I can help you pick the right community so that you're not making that mistake of moving to Phoenix and a year later wishing you'd lived in another part of town.